Back in July of 2004, my father-in-law, Albert Sieve, received the Distinguished Flying Medal as one of the crew members aboard a C-130 that did takeoff and landings on an aircraft carrier. This was back in the 60s, but there was an episode of JAG that came out that showed the C-130 taking off. Somebody wrote a letter to the Navy and said, whoever was flying that ship needs to get medals. Well, everybody had gotten medals except the flight engineer loadmaster, Albert Sieve, my father-in-law. They rectified that in July of 2004. And what they did was they flew ship number 798, which was the ship that did the takeoffs and landings. By the way, 27 of them without a tail hook and without JADO assist on an aircraft carrier to prove that it could be done. And here's my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. Anyway, they were taking ship number 798. It was being retired from service, and it was being used as a tanker right now, and you'll see the tank in the aircraft in a moment. But it was being flown to Pensacola to be put in a museum so that people could observe it. So here it is on the ramp at Lunken Airport in July of 2004 during the Navy ceremony. There was another Navy ceremony at the Navy Lunch Club in Cincinnati earlier that day, and this was the final celebration where the medal was awarded and all the officers were on deck and all the visiting staff were flying in on their aircrafts, and again at Lunken Airport in Cincinnati, Ohio, July of 2004. The gentleman on the right there in the suit is Admiral Flatley, who was a lieutenant at the time that he was the pilot in command of the ship. The gentleman in the blue, again, is my father-in-law, Albert Sieve, the loadmaster and flight engineer for the C-130. And as you can see, those are quite big propellers out there. Towards the end, my brother-in-law, Michael, is trying to touch one of them when it's pointed straight down. But anyway, it was a good day out at the airport. The entire Sieve clan was there, you know, Mr. and Mrs., as well as Robert and Michael and Luann. And I was there, also to his son-in-law. And there's a picture of me with my ponytail up in the cockpit of the C-130 somewhere along in here. But anyway, I'll let you just keep looking at the pictures of the C-130. I've given you all the pertinent information about it. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of family history that, you know, my dad was in the Navy and flew, and I married a girl whose father flew in the Navy who landed on an aircraft carrier. What a small world this can be when you think about it. Thanks for watching, folks.